when it comes to autoimmune disorders. You may have heard that these conditions are becoming way more prevalent than before. Actually, it's a new umbrella that doctors will use when they don't really know what's going on with the body. So I've seen so many people coming to the office and they are labeled having some type of autoimmune problems, but the medical doctors don't really know why is that. They just know that the body, the immune system is just crazy, and they don't know more than that. And typically what they do with these conditions is they give them some prednisone, some steroids, some medications, and that's about it. They send them home. They don't know what else to do. They see them once a year or so on. And then the patient gets worse over time because the condition, the actual autoimmune problem, gets worse over time. So autoimmune means that the body is going after itself. So there's some reason for that. So the body or the immune system, for some reason, attacks their own tissues, organs. Like, for example, Hashimoto's is when the body attacks and destroy the thyroid. Okay, and there's so many different conditions like that. RA is a type of arthritis where the body attacks the joints, leading to joint pain, for example, and over time you're having issues to walk around and get around. So there's many different types of autoimmune, and most of the time medical doctors have no idea what happened. First of all, it's not genetic. It's a 100% nutrition. It's factors coming from your lifestyle, toxins, and so on and so on. So we need to figure out why the body turned against itself. For some reason it happens. And it all comes down to the gut at the end of the day. I've been talking a lot about the guts because the gut is everything. So you have to make sure that your gut is 100%. And if your gut function is not like it needs to be, it's not optimal, and you may have all kinds of issues. You may have heard that everything starts from the gut. Okay, all conditions that people experience can be connected from the gut. So 70% of your immune system is located in your gut. So it's really important. That's the main reason why it's important to make sure your gut is functioning well. Otherwise, it's going to reflect on your immune system, and then you can develop over time autoimmune conditions like Hashimoto's and lupus and RA and so on and so on. So one thing we don't talk about when it comes to the gut is the gut flora, and specifically parasites. Our gut contains 4 components when it comes to microbes. We have bacteria, we have viruses, we have fungi, yeast, and then you have parasites. I've talked in the past about how like certain medications like antibiotics and antidepressants can lead to another growth of yeast like candida. Okay, so this is well known, and this is a major symptoms of health problems. The other component we never talk about is parasites, like I said. So last year, Dr. Oz had a show actually on parasites, and he actually talked about how parasite can disrupt the body. And he said the statistics that was not quite shocking to me, because that's what I see most of the time. He said that more than 95% of the populations have parasites. Medical doctors believe that you would get parasites if you went outside of the country. You went to Africa or went to South America or Asia or different countries like that we know have a parasite problem. But that's really, really confusing because parasites are everywhere. Okay, there's about 120 different types of parasite that can affect our body. Okay, and most of the time what I see with people is they have several different types. I've seen people having 10, 12 different types of worms affecting the gut, and we need to detox all that. So the main sources of parasites, water is a good one. Okay, so water is maybe one of the main sources. Tap water, of course, The purification systems of the different cities don't handle parasites. Some parasites are actually chlorine resistant or chemical resistant. So they proliferate, they take over the water, and then you can drink that. So as a matter of fact, 50% of the water in this country, tap water, is contaminated with some type of parasites. So it's really important that you get some type of system at your house to filter the toxins and filter the parasites. Otherwise, you drink parasites. The other source of parasites is, of course, our food, because our food is grown in the soil. So the soil contains parasites. That's just the ecosystem, that's the cycle. So we need parasites to help processing the dirt and to help nourishing the soil. So when you eat foods that were not clean, like you can get food in a salad bar, for example, you may actually get parasite from them. I see once in a while people coming in, they are sick because they ate raw foods from different restaurants and they got a parasite or food poisoning. And then raw foods, okay, like sushi. Unfortunately, sushi, I know it's a big thing. People like it, but it's raw. And most of the sushi places you can find do not contain good quality parasite-free fish. So that's one way to get a tapeworm, for example. Non-cooked meat like pork. Pork is known to contain a lot of different parasites and bugs. So I don't recommend pork, but if you eat pork, make sure that it's well done. Otherwise, you may get parasites from that. And then other sources of parasite could be swimming pool. Okay, like I said, water contains parasites. So chlorinated swimming pool or swimming pool in general may actually contain parasite. So that's one way to get parasite in. Public restrooms is known actually to give parasites to people because we know that those places are not necessarily clean. They might be dirty. So you may actually get parasite from that. And daycare. Daycare, unfortunately, is a major source of parasite when it comes to kids, children. And that's one way for them to get parasites. So we need to address those sources. Of course, it's really hard to avoid everything. So that's why we need to make sure that your gut, your immune system is strong. So it's a little bit of a vicious cycle because what happens is when you ingest or get parasite in, it affects your body, your immune system, and then your immune system gets down and you're more at risk to get issues from parasites when you're exposed to them. So the first line of defense for parasites is to make sure that your pH of your stomach is really, really acidic. And unfortunately, most people do not have a stomach that is acidic enough to kill parasites. So we need to make sure that first of all, we fix this digestion, the stomach. One way to help with that is to use apple cider vinegar, for example. Some people will supplement the diet with betaine, hydrochloric acid, which is acid that your body makes. So if your body is not making enough acid, you can take some tablets of it, and that's going to help the digestion. Because when your stomach is not acid enough, this parasite that you get from water or food, which happens all the time, you cannot avoid it, do not die in the stomach. So those parasites travel through the stomach and get into your gut, and it takes over the gut. So that's one thing you can do is to make sure your stomach acid is good. And what are the food that disrupt the most the stomach acid is sugar and grains in general. So these two foods types would actually increase your stomach pH, which is bad because you need your stomach to be at around 1-2 of pH. When it goes above that, your stomach is not acid enough and those parasites do not die. So you have to make sure that you eliminate those foods out of your diet. So that's going to help the pH. And then you have to make sure that your gut is clean. There's no toxins stuck in your gut. Because like I said before, toxins like Roundup, like pesticides, toxins like mercury or arsenic or aluminum or different metals and chemicals like chlorine, fluoride get into the lining of your gut, disrupting the gut lining, the gut function, which helps the parasites to take over the gut. So these are the few things you need to do: the diet and detox your gut. So parasites, what happens when it gets into your gut, release compounds, molecules that are known to suppress the immune system. They are known to reduce the white blood cells, for example, the lymphocyte, the macrophages. So parasites has this mechanism when they take over the gut, will make toxins, and the toxins get into your lymphatic, into your bloodstream, which suppress the immune system, which make you more prone to get parasite infection. It's a vicious cycle. So those parasites can cause all type of issues. So pretty much every issue that people are dealing with can be connected to a parasite issue. And that's what clinically we see in the office is people who have health issues always have some type of parasitic layer to it. For example, one of the most common one I see is thyroid issues. So there's some parasites that would, when you get in your gut, that will release molecules that will actually shut down your thyroid through the lymphatic in the blood. So when those parasites are in your gut, it just keeps making these toxins, and these toxins block your thyroid to function. And when you go see your medical doctor, they will tell you, oh, you have hypothyroidism, or you have Hashimoto's, or you have this and this, and they will give you a pill. But the actual reason is because your body is not able to get rid of those parasites. Your immune system is not strong enough, and those parasites makes more and more toxin. And over time, what happens is your thyroid really completely shut down, and you become dependent on your medications. The good news is, because we know why you have low thyroid, we can get rid of the parasites and restore the function of the thyroid. So at some point, you may not need your medications. So this is an example, but I've seen parasites causing issues to the adrenals. Same concept, or to the ovaries or uterus, causing infertility, for example. I've had people having some parasites causing depression, for example, or mood swings, or mental issues. So pretty much everything that people are dealing with or facing with can be connected or can be caused by a parasite. And then we need to detox that. We need to get rid of those worms, those parasites, by eating good and come up with a good detox program to get rid of it. So to me, parasites is actually the main cause or the main factor behind health issues. So if you have any problems, I can guarantee you that there's a parasite layer to it that we need to address. Typically, that's what we see in the office. Actually, clinically, when we start doing a parasite detox, these issues go away and you start feeling better. Because what happens is those parasites are warm. They're small microorganisms, and they need nutrients to survive. So what happens is they take your nutrients that you eat from the food. So the nutrients that they use are not used by your body. So your body over time becomes depleted, becomes deficient. So when we get rid of the parasites, all those vitamins, nutrients are available for your body to utilize and actually heal itself. So this is what I had to say about parasites. So it's a big thing, and we need to look at what's causing your issues and what are the source of parasites. So if you have any question about this, please let me know. Otherwise, I will talk to you later. Have a good day.